Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Well, it's been a hot minute since I said that. I've been away for what? A month. But yeah, this video is gonna be a new series on my channel that I wanted to do for a while now. And I'm not sure about the name yet, but I think I'm gonna call it Pillow Talk or something like that. It's really a common name. But yeah, in this series I wanna talk about hard subjects about my life and things that you guys may deal with, I also deal with. And yeah, let's start. I need to make sure I'm recording. But yeah, so today's subject is gonna be social anxiety. If you guys didn't know already, I deal with a lot of social anxiety, and I wrote down a couple of questions that I get a lot when I talk about my social anxiety, or I just look them up on the internet, to be honest. But yeah, I just wanted to give a disclaimer. I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, so I don't know anything about it. It's just my experience and how I feel social anxiety. And if you have other experience, just comment them below so I can learn about you guys. Oh my god. You can really tell I didn't do this for a hot minute. But yeah, let's begin. So the first question I got is, what is social anxiety to me? So social anxiety is how should I explain that? Whenever I am in social day-to-day events, stuff like that, if I need to go to the grocery store, if I need to ask something to someone, if I need to call, that's one of my biggest triggers, I guess. I feel a lot of fear, I guess I would say. A lot of fear. I have a lot of thoughts in my head. Thoughts like, does someone like me? If what I'm saying is okay? If I'm rude, am I nice enough for them? Sometimes if I try to find friends, I always think oh, what if I said something she doesn't like? Or what if she's gonna talk about me? Or if people are gonna talk about me, stuff like that. And usually what I get is I disassociate a lot. So whenever I feel like I'm gonna have a panic attack, I disassociate. So I would just stare in front of me and I essentially just shut down. So whenever I need to go to the store and ask something, I feel my heart racing, and then I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna have a panic attack, and then I just disassociate. And I snap out of it pretty easily because I recognize what I do, and I just, whatever, how I deal with it will come after this part. Something I hear a lot is, you don't look like you have social anxiety. And that's because people always associate social anxiety with being shy, and I'm not shy. And also usually people think that if you have social anxiety, you probably are an introvert. And once again, I'm not an introvert. I'm pretty extrovert. I like being with people. I like talking to people. So whenever I tell people, oh yeah, I have social anxiety, they don't believe me because I'm so open and I talk a lot, and I have no difficulty, or I don't think it's difficult to talk to people. It looks like I don't think it's difficult, but if you go inside of my head, it's the complete opposite. I'm so afraid to talk to people sometimes, and I get a lot of anxiety whenever I have to talk in groups. And I try to talk, but sometimes I just shut down and I just stare at people and listen to what they have to say, and I don't even try to get into the conversation. But yeah, this is something that I hear a lot just because I'm like extroverted, I guess. But yeah, not because I'm like that means I cannot have social anxiety. And the next question is related to this one. That is, isn't social anxiety a form of shyness? No. Yes, you can be shy and have social anxiety, but it's not the same thing. I think social anxiety has to do with your mental health, and being shy is just your personality, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but to me, if you're shy, it's just the way you are, and being shy doesn't mean you cannot be social. You just maybe don't want to be, or have a hard time being social. Also, I know some of my friends are introverts and also have social anxiety, but whenever I am with them, their social anxiety doesn't come up as much because we know each other, and I know their triggers and I know what scares them. So I just can talk to them all day, every day, and they're being fine. So it's two separate things, being shy or being introvert or having social anxiety. Um, the next question is, can't you just overcome social anxiety by facing your fears? This was a hard question. I found this on the internet and it really questioned myself when I read that, because I wanted to say yes and no. Yes, because you can practice dealing with your social anxiety, and no, because it can make it worse, I think, or it can make your panic attacks worse. For me, like, something I don't fear as much is going to the store and asking something, but if I know it's an inconvenience to the person I'm asking it to, it's harder for me to ask. So then I will feel a lot more fear when I need to ask that. Let's say I need to, like the other day I went shopping with my friends and I wanted to buy these shoes, but at the other store they were 30 euros, and at this store they were 70, and it was the same store but just other locations. And I thought that 70 euros was too much for the shoes because I saw them for 30 at the other one, but I was too scared to ask them, like, oh, at the other store it's 30 euros and here it's 70, why is that? And I know that my friend, she also has social anxiety, and this is really funny to me that whenever I'm really scared or whenever I'm really close to having a panic attack, it's like her social anxiety disappears and she just asks it for me. But whenever we go to the store and she needs to ask something, it can be like the same thing, but it's for her. She gets more scared than I am, and I have more like balls to ask the people, like, oh, why is this? But I don't know why that is, but I just have that. But I think if I went and asked them, like, hey, why is this 70 euros and not 30, I would probably get like a full-on panic attack. And that's why I say yes and no, because sometimes it can really trigger you really badly, and if you don't have the right knowledge on how to cope with your like panic attacks, it can be really really hard. And I think with therapy or whatever you want to do, you can learn how to deal with your panic attacks. And that goes to the next question, how do I deal with it? Well, I don't. Well, I do, but I also don't. There are things that I am not afraid to do anymore, like whenever I go to a store and I cannot find something, I just know what to ask. I just know, like, oh, do you know where this is? And one thing that helps a lot is practice what I want to say. Just so whenever I go to a restaurant and I want to order something, before I am at the restaurant, I just talk to myself and say, I want one of this and I want one of this. No, I don't want a bag, thank you. so I know whenever I am in front of the people, of the person that's on the counter, I just can say it like it's a script. But I know that whenever when it's like random, just like the store with the shoes, I cannot do that fast enough to say it because it's in the moment, and then my social anxiety just kicks in like it's so bad. And with panic attacks, I don't hyperventilate. I think you say it like that. Not anymore. I used to do that whenever I had a panic attack. Nowadays, I just, like I said, disassociate and shut down because I know that having a panic attack is embarrassing to me whenever I have it in public. Not saying that if a person in front of me had a panic attack that I think that is embarrassing. Just whenever I have it, I feel embarrassed, I think it is. Yeah, I feel embarrassed. So that's why I guess disassociate and shut down, because I rather have that than have to how is it called? I rather have that than hyperventilate. So yeah, I know that some of my friends have it differently than me, and I'm not gonna go into depth with that because I don't know if they're okay with me telling that to the internet. But yeah, and the other things like calling, my biggest trigger, I don't know how to deal with that, to be honest. I just, whenever I'm at work and like the parents call, I just say like, oh, you can, like to my colleague, I say, can you pick it up? I cannot do it. And they always say, yeah, you need to practice, but I just cannot do it. It's just so triggering. I cannot. I just feel so much anxiety when I do that. And I know that the other day, or a couple weeks ago, I needed to call a parent, and this is like it's so embarrassing to me because it's something so simple, but I cannot do it, and I'm still thinking about it. And it's, yeah, I would just tell you guys. So I needed to ask if the baby could drink formula because they gave breast milk, and they didn't give enough, so, and the baby was still hungry. So I needed to call them to ask them if the baby could get formula, which is a normal question. So I picked up the phone and my heart was just like, it came out of my chest. When if I'm thinking about it now, I still get like, I'm feeling hot and my heart is racing. It's crazy. But yeah, I just called them. I'm like, hi, it's Dean. Could you kid get formula because he's still hungry and you didn't give enough breast milk. Easy. And she was really nice. It's a really nice parent, so that's not the problem. And she said, yeah, it's fine, thank you for calling, blah blah. Everything was good. But tell me why when I went home, I was still thinking about, did I say the correct thing? Was I polite enough? Isn't it weird to call them during the day? What if she's working? Stuff like that. But I know that it's her kid, and I know that it's good for me to call because it's her kid. She wants to know. But still, I still think about, oh, what if it was an inconvenience, or what if she thinks I'm annoying for calling her and stuff like. I still think about that, but I know it wasn't like that. But yeah, I still have things like that. And I go to group therapy, especially to talk about my social anxiety and other things as well, which comes in the next videos. And I can practice social events or social, how it's called, things that happen in the social world, I guess, the outside, I guess. So let's say I something happens I don't like and I'm too afraid to tell the person. I can practice in my group on how I can say certain things and which words I need to use, so it's not as scary to me. It's the same thing like I said about practicing how I need to order. It's the same thing, but certain things I still cannot say or do. Like when things happen I don't like, I cannot confront people because confrontation is so scary. It's so scary. And I know that a lot of people think like, oh yeah, you don't have to have social anxiety to think confrontation is scary. I know that, but having social anxiety makes that even worse because I'm already scared about what the what people think about me. And then whenever I come with a problem, I think that I'm being whatever doomsday scenario you can come up with, I think about that. But yeah, I wanted to make this series especially for myself, but also for people that have the same problems as me, I guess. And for myself because I want to know what I think, how I develop. But because maybe in a couple months I will look back and be like, ah, Colleen, piece of cake. I don't think so, but maybe, you never know. And this is just me, you know, recording, capturing the moment of my mental health and problems I have in my life. And yeah, I have a couple of subjects that I want to talk about, and including trauma, depression, gender issues, and sexual sexual well sexuality. That's a hard word. Yeah, sexuality. And also, I don't know, just work life, how it's like to go from a student to working, because let me tell you, it's been hard. But yeah, if you have any subjects that you want me to talk about, just put them in the comments down below. And yeah, if you liked it, my first pillow talk, I guess, episode, hit the like button, leave a comment, and yeah, that's it. Social anxiety sucks, but it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. I just wanted to say that, know that you're not the only one. I also struggle with it. A lot of people struggle with it, and you're gonna be fine, and I'm gonna be fine, and we get over this. I guess we can, you know, we will develop. I don't know what I'm saying. I just wanted to give good words or like good advice on it, but I'm still struggling with it. So I don't even know what to say to you other than you're not alone. I have it too. A lot of people have it. So yeah, without further ado, I'll see you in the next video. And yeah, bye.